So you see, the goal with sliding is that it's very vocal. It's very effective. It takes sort of the robotics out of playing when you're just moving up back and forth with that position. Sliding, you know, we already know that there's only two ways you can get from one place to the next on the fretboard. It's to either pick your fingers up and move, or it's to slide. You know, and as we've talked about, the great thing about sliding is that you could slide from a note, or you can slide from nowhere. Again, kind of like an airplane landing. You're just kind of coming in and sliding back out. Okay? Or I can slide from a note. You know, I can remember the first time I really started learning about that, because it's one of those subtle things that kind of escapes you. You know, you'll play notes, but it never really occurs to you to just slide to kind of make this great sounding vocal element to your playing. So for me, the three main things that we've talked about that really need to be stressed from a vocal standpoint are slides, vibrato, and bending. If you can learn to do those three things effectively on this guitar, when you're moving, as we've talked about with threading, which is playing stuff between the licks that you know, when you're threading between this stuff, you know, everything's going to sound like you're singing on the instrument. And that's really what you're looking for. So you remind yourself, it's not about playing fast or going from lick 1 to lick 17 to lick 23. Yes, you need all those things, but you don't just play them back to back. You fill the spaces in between. You thread in between those licks with phrasing. And always remember, your phrasing doesn't have to be fast. Remember subtle things like, again, playing one note more than once, like a singer would. A singer doesn't just move all over the place. You know, when you're playing, then you can stop the phrase. You can always slide down, remember? Sliding is so awesome because if you really truly can see all five positions like we've talked about, you know, the whole fretboard is open to you. So you're no longer just looking at little segments across your fretboard that you use and then you don't use anything else. You literally can move anywhere you want. To create that movement and that lyrical element with sliding. Then, of course, you start adding that with vibrato, which I've been using anyway, but remember, a nice smooth vibrato, that's what you're looking for. You know, you can decide how wide or how fast it's supposed to be, but it needs to be smooth. You know, don't... You know, don't play them too fast. Remember what we talked about with the arm when you're moving back and forth, like opening a doorknob. Keep it nice and smooth. Okay? And then the last thing, of course, is our bends. And we've got a series of bends that we've already talked about. Half-step bends, whole-step bends, three-fret bends, reverse bends or ghost bends. You know, those are all great things that you can use within the context of this. So if I'm playing, again, no licks, I'm just moving through. Blues bends, all that kind of stuff. So now what I would do is I would take a rhythm. I've got my song, whatever I'm going to be playing over. I'm going to decide now with that beat that I'm playing or with that tempo that I'm playing, where am I at on that rhythmic you know, balance beam? You know, can I do quarter notes? Can I do eighth notes? What can I do? So when I get inside here, instead of just trying to play all of these different things, I have to think rhythmically. Right? There's all kinds of cool things I can do as long as I'm feeling all of that. So basically what we've done so far is we've broken down the visual, which is your fretboard. We've broken down the technical, which are the exercises that we've done, the rhythmic exercises we've done, the strengthening exercises we've done. And then we've got our techniques, okay, our vocal techniques. We've got hammer-ons, pull-offs, slides, bending, vibrato, trills, all of these different kinds of things. And so the next segment, what we want to do is we want to start learning how to slowly piece all of these things together.